Hi everyone. So I was interested of making my own Roblox character. This is just a quick basic tutorial to get you started if you're interested on the topic. So let's try it out and test it out. How do we make it happen? So this is quite not super fast. You can do with me at the same time. First, you will have to install the Roblox Studio, and then you create your own place, starting canvas. So here's just a basic canvas with a basic plate here behind. So to start with, we want to go to the avatars bar, and here on the rig builder, click rig builder. We go with R6 rig because it's more basic. We go with the masculine because it's more basic. We go with the block avatar. Boom. So here is our kind of basic reference. We use this as a reference because some of these the geometry in this 3D file isn't perfect. So it's easier for us to edit that. So then we choose the rig, and then we go into the position here. Boom, and we just put it to 0. Where's the dude? Dude went to the 0. Boom, boom. So this is our rig that we want to export. Find your rig on here on the Explorer tab, and on the Explorer tab you right click, export the selection. It will save it as an OBJ, and we will rename it. So the next step is that you need a blender. So to get a blender, I think you just hit the blender.org and download it, or if you have a Steam, you can also download it from Steam. I'm not going to all the basics of the Blender in this video, but you can learn that in different tutorials. But if you know a little bit Blender, this is pretty simple. First out with the Blender, where we start, we will now delete the camera and the starting block. We'll go to import and import the OBJ file, Wavefront OBJ. Boom. Then we have to go and find our OBJ where we saved it, and here we have the dude. Here's the dude, and here you can change the direction what you're watching. You can also use your key numbers, but I have a small keyboard, so I use now these. So here's just our kind of a reference, and we start then making our own dude. Then next we will add a mesh cube. Boom. And my plan here is now do the half of the body. I will go for the scale. I will scale the Y 1.5, as you can see here better, and then we'll scale the X 1.5. Boom. Then let's see the position. I think then this was 3, and position on X, I think it was, no, sorry, minus 0.5. Okay, boom. We have the torso cube, and then we want to shift+d, duplicate it. With S, you can kind of keep it in one place. Then we have a second cube, and then for this, we want to move here minus 1.5. Then we go back to the first cube, and we Control Shift+D that, then ESC, and here this cube is going to be then here. It's going to be one direction, one position. So here we have basically legs and body, and then we want to have the head. How do we do the head? Let's do the head. Let's take off these other parts that we created. Here we are going to do the wireframe, so we can see here the geometry. Then we go with the shift+a, mesh, and cylinder. Let's move the cylinder up here on the base, and then we're gonna scale it with S. We will scale it. I'm trying to scale it at the bottom size. I'm gonna scale it. So we're at the bottom. Then we're gonna scale and set like smaller. Drop it down. Okay. Then we scale the base here. Then we go with the tab to the edit mode. Now we're in the edit mode. We check that we have the X-ray toggle here on. We will then choose here the vertex, and so with the B, we will select the vertices up, we will scale it, else we will extrude it up, we will scale it, we will extrude it, we will scale it with a S, we'll extrude it up, scale with a S, extrude up, boom, extrude up, we will scale it S, extrude up, scale, extrude scale, extrude, and S, boom. So we have the head. So now we have the head, but at the same time, I'm planning, let's take off I'm also planning that for the head, I would like to also mirror the head. So for the mirror head, we will take the knife tool here. We will choose two places we want to cut. We put enter. Now we cut through the noise. Did I got it directly in the middle? Yes. Then we go the face mode on with a B. We will select this half. We will select this half, check the selection, delete faces. Okay, so we have other half here. Then we get all the body parts back, and let's see how it looks. Here I will also go here. We can also do this, that we will take off this one half here. Okay, so basically now we have all the parts. Then we will do that we will add, let's name the parts. Head, also, this is the left arm in the perspective of the person, left leg. Okay, then next part, we have only half a person. We don't want to be a half a person. So next step is we will add here the modifiers. Let's add a modifier of a mirror. Boom. Okay, nothing happens. That's why you have to right click and set the origin to the 3D cursor. So here you set here also this part, the 3D cursor, so it mirrors this part. So now it should work easier. Mirror on the wall. Boom. Now we have mirror modifiers. That's that. Let's add here the clipping on the body, maybe also in the head. Then let's check the original. Okay, it's a little bit smoother. It has this bevel on the side. No problem. Let's do that.
So here's just an extra cut. As you can see, I forgot to add shade smooth, so it looks better here. Also, you can add it to the helmet, so shade smooth, so it looks better that way. Okay, sorry about that, but I will add this extra edit. Okay, thanks.
Boom. And here, next step for me, and we go here and we'd add a second modifier, bevel. Then you can here go into the bevel and the amount. Let's see, maybe 0.5. Let's try that. Let's add also here a bevel, 0.5, and this is good that we then have this kind of a non-destructive way of adding the bevel. You can also add the bevel to the geometry, but I think this is quite good that you don't destroy geometry. So what I noticed that you have to check now, you have to put this merge off because these are together, the legs. Check here the merge is off, so that you can separate that. And I think here the merge is good to have on, but it merges the points that are closely around. And anyway, check that the merge is then off here on the legs. Of course, you can then check if you want to have a different way of editing, for example, the head. In one tutorial, I noticed that it could be a little bit difficult to edit this part here, so we can create this kind of a helmet part, extra helmet part. It was kind of cool idea. So let's do that now. So let's add the helmet, and this here we will add plane mesh. We'll put this forward and let's rotate it this with the Y, and then we push Control to have this 5-degree angles change. We move here on the side, we scale it on the side of the head. Let's bring it a little bit closer, and here we are going to the let's scale it a bit. Then we go to the edit mode, pick here the sides a little bit, maybe on the edge mode. Then we go here, we can extract E and Y, so it keeps on the Y axis. Let's go top view, like this. Then E, Y, E on a Y. Let's do some kind of big E and a Y. So we get this E and a Y. I'll just keep it E and a Y. It's gonna be E and a Y. It's gonna be really basic, but you can use more time here. How do you want to do it? What kind of helmet you are planning to do? We got this way. Then let's also add here a mirror modifier. The plane, right click, set origin to the 3D cursor. On the Z axis, I also confused it. Sometimes it goes like this. This is going to be some kind of a helmet, I don't know. Why it's that like that? Okay. At some point I messed up. Don't mess up. But you get the point. Not going to be perfect this time. Then we are going to go to apply the mirror modification, and then go back to edit. We can check these lines and put a face in it. F, these edges, no, F. Then take the edge and push Alt. We get this first, like here. Then we extrude it on a jet, scale it, extrude it on a jet, scale it, extrude it on a jet, scale it, extrude it on a jet, and scale it. Let's do weird kind of a hat, extrude it on a jet, scale it. Then we put an F on it with X face, extrude it on a jet, scale it a bit, extrude on a jet, scale it. Okay, here we have a weird helmet. Here you can then have this like a helmet here. Helmet. Okay, then we are going to add more how you want to then edit, for example, the arms. Let's do other parts away for a while here, and let's go to the arms. Go with the tab with the edit mode, and then we can use the loop cut. Then we go here in the edit mode, Control R for the loop, and then with scroll wheel you can change how many points you want here. This is the scroll wheel. But if you want, then you can move this by push S, then it keeps in place. The loop cut is also here as a tool. Then we are going to toggle the X-ray on, so we see what we choose like this. And quite good way of adding, you can extrude along the normals to have this kind of shape. Cool shape, for example, like this, in or out. Then we can extrude along normals. Let's make a big shoulders. Extrude. So this extrude is good option. Then you can also, of course, just add, for example, these bevels, this kind of a bevel. good tool to add more shape. Bevel tool. One could also put a knife for interesting shapes. Maybe a more organic like this. Then we can, for example, extrude this, scale it. So you can create quite cool shapes with just the knife tool. Then you can go here, for example, shape. So these are really cool tools to edit model. So these are the tools. Then you can go through. Also the legs, same point. Add some loop cuts-esque. Let's then choose here and scale it. For example, for the legs, base mode here, extrude, scale, weird, edit. Just to show you guys possibilities here of editing this. Okay. Of course, then if you go to the torso, it's a little bit maybe trickier because of course here moves a little bit different, the center part, how it mirrors. But you have to then just, how should I say, figure it out how it works, because but it's not too complicated. You have to then check how you move the shapes. So then you just edit your model. Let's hide the original from the back. You have all the models here. Here's the cool dude. And of course, before, I think this is then good part to maybe copy all, to maybe add a copy from the whole dude. Then you can save it, because now we are going to apply the modifiers, because at least we are gonna, we with the left arm, we will apply the mirror modificator. Here we apply that, and for the leg we also apply the leg modifier. Okay, then we see that it's all already in the both parts are left arm. We go in the edit mode, we choose right arm, and then we press P by selection. So that now we have separated the right arm. So we rename this one to right arm. And here we go also here in this selection. This is always a little bit trickier. This is the part I don't like. Okay. It's a little bit tricky, this selection that you select also. You can keep maybe small cap here. So it's not so difficult. You can have a small cap here maybe. Anyway, I got this. Then we put the P separate by selection. Then we have this. We rename this to the right leg. Okay. So now we have the parts. We have the helmet. We have the head. We have left arm, right leg. We have all the parts ready. So just a quick edit here, addition that I made one video of adding this model previously made, that this was connected the legs too much, so I edited the rig a bit so that they are a little bit separated, and it was easier to separate the whole parts. So I think this is really important now in the face, that you check that these aren't together like in my early video, but just check that there's a small gap between the legs. Then I'm going to select all parts, not the original. Then we go File, Export as OBJ. File, we will like Browser, New Avatar. Then we put the selection only. Then we change this forward axis to Z, because then it gets wrong direction in the Roblox Studio. So we go here, put Z, this is Y, and we keep the object groups. Then we export. Boom. Now we have OBJ ready. Let's go back to Roblox Studio. Boom. Into the import 3D, and we go. First thing you will do here, you will rename all the pods. Well, like this. is important. Okay, we're ready to import. Now we have our model here. Boom. Yeah, we're in the game, sort of. Okay, then we have all the parts here. Then you go to the torso part, you duplicate the torso, rename it to humanoid root parts. And here down in transparency, you put that into 1. Okay, that's that. Then you go into the plugins and you have to install this edit rig. It's free. You have to install this rig edit light. It's a free plugin. You can check the details how to add that. Then you go and open the rig edit. So we make the rig. You choose the humanoid root part and then you choose torso. You create a joint. Then again humanoid root part, right leg, right arm, left leg, left arm, head. Then we have all the rudimentary joints. Then we have this helmet here. So you gotta go to head and helmet. Let's weld these together so they keep put. And now you here in this point you can change the point that you want to where the joint is moving. So here, better here, up, here. I think this looks good. Looks like a rig. That's that. Then you close it, go to the avatar, then here you rename this to starter character, and here you then add a humanoid in there. Then we have a humanoid there. Boom. Then you go, your rig is kind of ready, and then you can start animating the dude. Go here, select the rig, go here. Let's make a really basic animation. I will not use much time here. Which go to 0, plus 40, 40, oh, 41, doesn't matter now, 30, like this, row works like this, then you go into 60, I don't know, I have to learn more about animations at some point, but this was just, I will just add here, really basic animations like this. Let's see if it looks, boom, boom, boom. Then let's go to the 0 and let's go neutral. I don't know what's the correct way of doing this. Just boom, boom, boom. Then it was important here is the looping. It's, yeah, but it does something. Okay, that's the important part. Then go here, you publish to Roblox. Boom, boom, boom. Then it's here, copy this ID to yourself. Then we have one animation ready. Then we go to this starter player, starter character scripts. We add here a script, okay, hello world. Then I found this quite basic script which worked for me. You can check the better scripts for R6, but this is what I found. This is just to get it working. Let's copy this, go here, paste here, and then go up here, copy your animation ID, and here in walk animation, paste it here, boom, that's that. Then go to your starter character in the Explorer, drag it all the way, start the player, and let's see what happens. Will it work? Boom. It's some kind of weird, it takes a little bit while. Maybe I'll figure out that in someday, but anyway, as you can see, maybe it's just the timing, but it works. It doesn't have any other animation. You can then animate all the other and use the same method. So I got this far. Let's see what I'll end up with. Maybe at some point I'll make my own character, and maybe I'll publish it in the Roblox store. I don't know. I'm just playing around with this idea and this kind of new skill to have. But it has just been fun time learning these new applications and how to make it work. But then we can, I think I will go into other tutorials later, learn more about coloring and texturing and these kind of things for Roblox characters, maybe, if there's any interest from you guys. Okay, anyway, please like and subscribe and share, and have a nice rest of the year. Okay, see you guys. Okay, bye. Bye 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 bye.